EMZT Radio is brought to you by Audible. Get a free audio download and a free 30-day trial at audibletrial.com/EMZT. Over 180,000 titles to choose from for your iPhone, Android, Kindle, or MP3 player.
Welcome to another episode of EMZT Radio. I'm Bane Hellborn with my partner, the infamous MJ, who's taking a little bit of a back seat because it's Women in Horror Month.
Yes, it is. It is Women in Horror Month, and I've decided that I'm going to relax for a little bit. Well, not really relax, because I'm still producing.
Yeah.
So, radio production is so easy. All you do is just sit back and you just tell the host to talk. Oh,
but you still have to keep an ear out.
Yeah, I still have to keep an ear out. At least it's not like my day job where I have to keep my ear out for like the 7 dirty words. That's the worst thing in the world, man. And we have 1 or 2 callers now that are just so casual when they call in. It's like shit just rolls off their tongue. It's like, you can't say that on the air!
Filter, people. Filter.
Yeah, you gotta have a filter when you call in sports talk radio, unfortunately. Oh, but we have exciting news. Before we get to all the festivities, we have exciting news because we have a new sponsor of the podcast.
What?
Oh. NordVPN is coming on, and I don't know about either one of you, Sarah or Bane, but have you ever got the phone call from the bank, the one you don't want to take?
Yeah.
Mr. Jordan, we noticed that you were in Italy the other day.
What?
No, I wasn't.
No.
What? Yeah. What? I've never left the United States. Oh, really? Because apparently you went shopping in Italy. No, I haven't. So after about 30 minutes of frustration with the bank, we finally fixed it all out, and it turned out that I went to a less than reputable website to buy something, and that's how 2 gentlemen from Albania ended up being me.
Oh. Wow. Those bastards.
Yeah, but thankfully, we got it all fixed and nothing went on my credit. But NordVPN will help you fix this problem by having they have secure servers. But that's not all they do. This Article 13, I know, Sarah, you've been dealing a lot of it because you're in the European Union, hearing a lot about this, where they're basically going to censor the internet pretty hardcore. And if this passes, a lot of us in the U.S. won't be able to see European content. And I think it's the other way around, too, where a lot of people in Europe won't be able to see U.S. content unless it's on, some corporate-owned bullshit. Yeah. And NordVPN will fix that problem for you. Because, you can actually... let's say I wanted to watch Danish television, which I do a lot, actually. I use less than legal means to do so, but Danish television is notoriously hard to watch, especially in the United States. And again, I have to go through all this stuff. Well, now I don't have to worry about that anymore because I can just make 1 or 2 clicks on my NordVPN, and all of a sudden, oh look, Matt's in Copenhagen. That's internet's in Copenhagen. I can watch Danish television, which it's basically just American television with Danish subtitles.
There you go.
That's an oversimplification, but it's Danish television for you. It does have some Swedish TV on it and some German
I can
TV.
imagine.
Oh yeah, and some German TV, but it doesn't have there's really not a lot of originality coming out of Denmark. But but NordVPN lets me do that. But let's say you've got a trip to China coming up, and we all know China's internet is notoriously censored.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
You don't have to worry about that. Just click on your NordVPN, and then you could be from anywhere. You got to go to the Middle East, and you want to see some ankle? You can you can click on your NordVPN and out you go, to other places. You don't have to be in the United States with your stuff. And that is awesome. And especially when you want to consult our good friend Private Browsing, this is definitely something for you. We all love private browsing. Salute you, sir, or ma'am. We don't assume gender here. This actually is a boost to your private browsing. So enjoy that. NordVPN. Click the link in the description. You can get. They have a monthly charge, a yearly plan, 2-year plan, and a 3-year plan.
Which is on special right now.
Which is on special. So take advantage of that special, kids, and get it going. NordVPN is definitely where you need to go. So there, we have our paid advertisement out of the way. And don't forget to click on Audible, too, and all the other crap. But we'll take care of that in close. So, without further ado.
Yes, and we're co-hosting with us is Sarah from Bitches of Horror. Whoop! Thank you, Sarah.
Yeah, no problem.
Okay, let me see if I can not mangle your name. I even Googled it for translation.
Yeah, you're supposed to prove to me that you can know how to say my name or last name.
Yeah, because it's, it's a foreign name. Now, this is from Google, and Google probably lied to me, but...
Probably
did. Okay, here we go. It's Gierski. Am I close?
It's, you have to sound the G as a J, so it's Yeski.
Yeski? Oh!
Yeah, that's it. It's so much easier than what people think.
Yeah, see, okay, so I still kind of make... Yes,
but like 98% people have a problem saying my last name, so I don't blame you at all.
Okay. Well, I even went to Google. I was getting some help.
my biggest problem when I was learning your last name, Sarah, was being in sports talk radio. Mike Krzyzewski, who has his last name is spelled kind of similar to Sarah's, and I was thinking, okay, it's got to be something like that. Because he is of Polish descent. And that's kind of where I was like, okay, well, I just assume that, and assumptions make an ass out of us all.
Yes, they do. I was close.
But it was a very good try.
Close. Okay, thank you. One little point. Thank you.
One little point.
One little point.
Anyway.
Yeah.
I've got something on free range piss around before you get to the news. I want to know this from both of you. I'm going to take Ellen Ripley out of the discussion here because that's the obvious answer to this question.
Okay.
What horror films or what are the smartest protagonists ever in horror?
Oh, besides Ellen Ripley.
Because like I said, Ellen Ripley is the obvious answer in that one.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think what's her name? Erin from Your Next.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah, I mean, she's just proactive throughout the entire film. She knows what to do.
Yeah.
And you're like, damn.
I'm still going to say Jamie Lee Curtis.
Yeah, that was my second option.
Yeah, because I even watched the new Halloween, and she really was a proactive character in that. I mean, totally. Yep. I mean, because the original Halloween, she was just a teenager. She was kind of like guessing what to do.
And she was kind of new to the situation, and now with the remake, she knew what to do. She knew exactly.
So I liked how she took, she had such control and such step-by-step ideas on how to be get away or stay safe, but it was almost suffocating to her. It seemed like in the new Halloween movie, it was like everyone else couldn't take her way of doing things. So
if mine would have to be Wendy Torrance. I don't think a lot of people actually would think her.
Oh.
But if you really think about it, she did all the maintenance when the entire staff was away at the hotel.
Right.
She ends off fending off Jack with the baseball bat, protects her son, and then she actually thought about it and got them out of the hotel, but she was the one that kind of lured Jack to the maze that eventually ended up killing him.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
But she was super emotional. So I mean, I was
Yeah.
I didn't think she'd pull it off.
Yeah, I think that's why a lot of people don't like bringing her up. But I mean, but yeah, you sit down, you really think about it. She was pretty damn clever.
And she dragged his ass into that pantry.
Yes.
Yep.
She didn't seem like she had the strength to do anything like that, but she pulled his ass into that pantry and locked it.
Yep.
And the hotel had to let him out. I just love that part. Yeah.
So I thought I'd ask that. All right, I'll go back now to hiding back in the dungeon. So y'all have fun.
Okay. I have just a little bit of news. Was one of a longtime horror scream queen from 1954's Creature from the Black Lagoon, Julie Adams. She passed away on February 3rd. She was 92, so I think it was definitely natural causes. And they did a little tribute to her about that, because 92. Wow.
Yeah, I mean, that's a long life.
That's a long, long life.
Yeah.
And it said she got her start from a third grade class production of Hansel and Gretel.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And that was, she was born in 1926. So she started probably in the 30s or 40s for her career. 30s?
Yeah. Let's see. In the 40s or late 40s. Yeah.
Yeah. So that was my little news. Oh. And then they're remaking Creature from the Black Lagoon. I mean, they're going to kill it. They're going to kill it.
I mean, they are just remaking everything, so it doesn't come as a surprise or a shock.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a bit irritating.
It's very irritating because, like I said earlier, I heard Christine is on the remake block, which you can't remake that movie. Sorry. You can't get those same types of people. And the car, I mean, the car is going to be near impossible to find.
Yeah. I'm supposed to remake a film, then choose a film that people do not really know about and a film that maybe didn't do so well. And then remake that film. But they're choosing these very popular, well-known films that did really well. And and some are not even like a few years old, like when Americans remake French films.
Yes.
And it's like, whoa.
Yeah. It just and then they end up killing the story because they mangle it or they miswrite it, or
like the remake of Martyrs. That was awful. And the inside, like. Oh, I was angry watching the remake of Martyrs in the cinema in Sweden. Like after watching it, I was just like, what the fuck? What did they do? Like, why? I had to go drinking just to forget it.
Oh, I know. When I saw it, I felt like it was missing a whole ton of stuff. I was sitting there going, what was I watching?
Yeah, everything was just a letdown. Just such a disappointment. Yeah.
Yeah. And they're also trying to remake Pet Sematary, which, my God. Are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah.
Come on. You can't. And no, nobody really died in it. But, I mean, especially when they remake movies where actors are passed away, it just, that so upsets me because they're gone. And you're just killing it. You're killing the story.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. So, do you have any horror news you wanted to talk about?
Yeah, we have the upcoming Monsters of Film Festival, the Women in Horror section part, on February the 24th here in Stockholm, Sweden.
Happy birthday to me.
Yeah, exactly. And they are actually focusing on Nordic horror.
Oh,
so it's pretty cool. Yeah, I don't think they've just had an entire day for Nordic horror films. So
Right.
it's very, and I'm happy that horror movies are growing in Scandinavia and the Nordic countries.
Yeah, it's not bad. I mean, I have to watch the subtitles, but it actually Nordic horror is pretty good. It's very good.
And we have a lot of these kind of cool mythologies and stories that we can pull inspiration from.
Yeah.
So I'm just checking which films. There's actually a feature film that will be shown called Draug. Don't really know how to say that because I've never heard the word before. But and then there's a short film package. We have 2 films from Sweden and 1 from Iceland and 1 from Finland.
Wow.
So cool, yeah.
I wish I could go. That'd be a total birthday present to me.
Oh yeah.
That would be so much fun.
Yeah, it really is. Well, last year they showed my feature film, Sayad, at this particular festival. So, yeah, every February I'm like, oh, the Women in Horror section of Monsters of Film is coming up. So excited. And me and Jasmine will probably be there, and some of our friends.
Oh, well, that's good. That'll be fun. I wish I could go to we don't have a film festival. Like the closest film festival to me that goes on is Ohio.
So how far is Ohio from?
What is it? Is it over 1,000 miles?
That sounds a lot.
That's like a 2 or 3 day drive.
Wow.
But yeah. So I mean, because Vegas has theirs. That's closer, but it's too expensive to even stay in Vegas.
I know. I was there for almost 2 weeks when I was a writer for the MMA site, MMA Knit, in Sweden. So we went to Las Vegas, and the place I was staying at, the Tropicana, was paid for, and my ticket was paid for, but I had to buy my own food, and it was expensive.
Oh yeah, the food just by itself. Oh God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm not really used to tipping, like giving tip. You don't do that here in Sweden. So, and I was like, no, you don't. And I was like, so I have to pay for my food plus tip. But I'm like, if I'm poor, then how do I work that in?
Right. Oh man. Oh. Okay. Oh, do you have any more news about your Create Your Killer film?
Yeah, we have been rehearsing for it with Jasmine and the male character, Emmanuel. And then we got some more crew members on board. And now we're going to put in the final touches and rehearse with all the cast and crew. And I have to repaint some parts in my home and redecorate, and yes, that will be interesting because I don't really do that, but I will try.
Yeah. Oh, yeah! Create Your Killer. We're looking forward to it.
Oh, thank you.
We were number 1 and number 4 to give money.
Yeah, and soon we will have all posters. We just got the small photography cards that we will be signing, and then we will be sending them, and with the posters and whatnot. So I'm excited.
I can't wait. I'm so excited for this. Woo! Yeah. So okay. So how much longer do you think?
Longer for
it to be ready to go.
Oh, the film.
Yes.
I don't really know. We will be shooting 90% of the film at the end of March, and then we have one small segment that's outside. So probably in April we will finish wrapping the film.
Okay.
And then just the post-production. But I'm working closely with one of my best friends who will be making the music and editing it. So we'll be working a lot. So hopefully it will be ready till summer or late summer.
Okay. Oh,
Yeah.
you know what I forgot to ask you before was, is this going to be an English film or is it subtitled?
We just decided when we were rehearsing that this film will actually be in English.
Oh, okay. That'll be fun. Yeah.
Yeah, because we tried it with Swedish and then in English, and the dialogue just sounds more natural in English. And I don't mean like accents and stuff. I mean like the way the dialogues are written. They just sound so ridiculous in Sweden sometimes. Like things sound way cooler in English.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Yeah, we will go in English because the dialogue there isn't really much dialogue anyway. So yeah.
Well, I just loved when you were in Sargad, and you can tell when you're angry. It's just such a great language for when you're angry.
Yeah. I mean, some of the dialogue, I was like, if this was in English, it would be so much cooler.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So also I was wondering about your posters. Did you do like did we talk about, did you do player 1, player 2, and player 3 posters?
They will actually be the small cards that we have done. And then Simon Pritchard is working on a hand painted poster for us. And then we have the poster of all three of us, which we use as the picture for Facebook. So that will be the main poster. And then we have the Simon Pritchard's version. That will be which Matt actually backed for. So.
Because I'm just loving on the Indiegogo page the posters for each player. I just think that's brilliant, and it needs to be made into a set.
Yeah, that could probably be done.
Yeah. But anyway, okay, yes, we're still looking forward. So everybody, create your killer. Be on the lookout for it soon this summer. So, yeah. Did you have any other news you wanted to talk about? Oh, I forgot to check out the blood drives. Oh, because there's Women in Horror Month blood drives.
I know there's so much going on now with the Women in Horror Month that I've been like focusing mostly on what me and Jasmine we do at Bitches of Horror, where we're writing about one female horror maker every day. So I've been just crazy writing and reaching out to some of the female filmmakers I know, and then I've been working a lot. So I work during the day mostly and during the weekends, and then I come home, I post about the Women in Horror thing, and then I reach out to more. And then me and Jasmine, we will post 3 Women in Horror special episodes of Bitches in Horror and a Valentine's special. So we've been just working like crazy. So I'm just probably missing some of the stuff that's going on.
Yeah. And just from the website alone, it has lists of all types of events for women in horror, like art shows, film screenings, even they mostly are doing the blood drive, to get blood donations. Yeah. And it just, the website's so huge, and the events they cover all over everywhere. Wow. Everywhere. And you can even like meet up. There's like a Women in Horror meet up. So in certain places, that's so cool. Yeah, this website, and it goes by country, state, or city, and it covers everything. And it's just so huge now. It's amazing how it's taken off. And this is what is the 10th year, I think it is, for it.
Yeah, it is. I mean, just a couple of years ago, I didn't even know the term women in horror. When I was growing up, I was just like, well, I want to be part of the horror community. And then me and Jasmine found out about a Women in Horror event in London, I think 3 or 4 years ago. And that's like the first time that I heard the term women in horror. I'm like, this sounds so cool. And now it's an everyday thing.
Yeah. Well, because for the longest time, it was just scream queens were the women in horror. That's all that they referred to. But yeah, the women in horror is like a new term that covers everyone from authors, musicians, filmmakers, artists. It covers everything, and it's amazing. And women are now taking more of the men, sort of not taking more. Yeah, they're getting more into the men's roles as creators.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And I love how everyone is included. It's not just actresses or directors. It's like everyone, as you mentioned, in the field.
Yeah.
So cool.
Even the little assistants, because they work with everybody. Just everything. And let's see. There's podcasts, public reading, social media. Covers everything. So, and then, YouTube's taken off, so everybody is a YouTube star.
Yeah, and now just scrolling through Instagram, and I often type hashtag horror, and just seeing so much, and I'm like, wow, it's really taking off, and especially women in horror and stuff. It's cool.
Yeah. I just love how just this website, the womeninhorrormonth.com, it's just an amazing website. And I've been scrolling it every day, trying to at least. And mostly they're wanting to do the blood drives because blood supplies have been low, so they're trying to push more blood drives.
Yeah, I actually have one of my best friends is actually donating his blood every third or fourth month.
Yes.
So I'm very proud of him. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I found out I couldn't donate blood anymore. Something with my iron levels. I'm not meeting the requirement. Yeah, I'm not meeting the requirement. So
we talked about it because I was asking, well, is there any difference when men and women give blood? And he was like, women can't give blood as often because of the iron levels and stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm like, so periods. That's basically basically. Just, yeah.
Yeah, and plus we have more hormones than the men. So.
Hormones.
Hormones. Yes. We're just a bloody mess.
Exactly.
Oh. Okay. No, that's all I have. Anything else you wanted to talk about? Otherwise, we need to get to some music.
Yeah.
All right, and I am pulling out all the female musicians for our Women in Horror Month. So, music time. It's EMZT Radio.
Open my heart, my purest part, they will What if that ship didn't even exist? Did you ever think about that? I didn't know. So now if I went and made a major security situation out of it, everybody steps in, administration steps in, and there's no exclusive rights for anybody. Nobody wins. So I made a decision, and it was wrong. It was a bad call, Ripley. It was a bad call.
Bad call?
Right.
These people are dead, Burke! Don't you have any idea what you've done here? Well, I'm going to make sure that they nail you right to the wall for this. You're not going to sleaze your way out of this one. Right to the wall.
Ripley, I expected more from you. I thought you'd be smarter than this.
I'm happy to disappoint you.
Hey guys, this is Jules Marie, and you're listening to EMZT Radio.
EMZT Radio is brought to you by NordVPN, and I don't know about you guys, but I've had that call from the bank. I hate that call from the bank, and you know what call I'm talking about. It's that call that your information has been hacked and somebody's trying to use it in another country. Well, like I said, I've had that happen to me before. NordVPN is a hack-proof encrypted tunnel for online traffic to flow. Nobody can see through the tunnel, and nobody can get their hands on your internet data. NordVPN gives you peace of mind every time you use the public Wi-Fi, access your personal and work accounts on the road, or just want to keep your browsing history to yourself, when you're talking with private browsing. But they have 5,100 servers in 62 countries, and that gets updated weekly. So, you're hit with that Article 13 in Europe. Maybe you want to check out NordVPN before this happens, and that way you can access an American server and not miss out on your favorite YouTubers, at least your favorite American YouTubers. There's no data logging. And they also have an extension for the Chrome browser, which is lightweight and user-friendly from the first click. I know a lot of you guys use Chrome out there. You definitely need to pick this one up. There's a 24/7 automatic support. Some of the best people in the world will take care of you in this. And you can do that through live chat or emails. You can have up to 6 simultaneous accounts, and there's even an automatic kill switch. Oh yeah, you want to get around that Great China firewall? This is the place for you to do it. Going to the Middle East? This will work too. It's compatible with most operating systems, including Windows, Mac, and Android. Double data encryption for increased anonymity. And I'm telling you, folks, it's something you need, especially because you don't want to get that phone call from your bank going, oh yeah, by the way, you've been in Italy the last couple of days, haven't you? No? Onion over VPN servers, unlimited bandwidth. They accept all the major credit cards, PayPal, and Bitcoin. Dedicated IPs available on request, and free security extras. You can try them right now, risk-free, 30-day money-back guarantee, and they've got that CyberSec suite and an ad blocker. Folks, this is something you definitely need to have. Click the link in the description right now, and you can get up to 3 years worth of service.
Hey everyone, this is Bowmine Bob from Bowling with Bobcat. You can listen to me live every Monday night at 10 p.m. Eastern at sfdradio.com, where I'm bringing you the best of the worst in cheap booze, talking bum wine, beers, 40s, malt liquor, and more. Always featuring the latest and greatest in the world of drinking and entertainment, along with some special guests. So come on down and take a ride with Bumwine Bob. If you can't be there live, you can always listen in the archives at bumwinebob.com. So sit back, relax, grab a drink, and enjoy. Cheers.
I'm sorry. I know it's hard to concentrate when you're surrounded by so many things you could kill me with. Like this axe I saw you looking at. Take it. Please, it's yours. Come on. I go for the neck, but I'm not the brain surgeon. Just do it quietly so John doesn't hear me die. Otherwise, he's likely to get upset, rip off his heart rate monitor. Then, you just have to find the sensor and disarm it so that you can walk more than 30 feet out that door without the collar detonating. Or, you could try and take the collar off yourself. That could be tricky. Slightest knock in the wrong place could trigger it. I should know. I built it.
Hey, Insaniacs. This is V from Creeping Beauty, and you are listening to EMZT Radio.
The Horror Gaming Report brought to you by ThatTechShop.com. Head over right now to ThatTechShop.com and type in the code EMZT at checkout for 20% off of all items
for PC, PlayStation 4, and Xbox.
And now it's time for the Horror Gaming Report, brought to you by SurviveThis.news. Why is it that women are underrated as horror video game characters? Time and time again, the girls are portrayed as damsels in distress that fail to fight their way out of a paper bag. However, despite the negative light women are forever being shown in, there have thankfully been a few female characters that have redefined and reestablished women's standards in video games. It seems as though the horror genre especially houses several strong females worth mentioning in today's article. So we put together an interesting list to pay tribute to the most badass, good, and evil horror game females enjoy. Number 10, Alyssa Gillespie. Alyssa is the daughter of Dahlia Gillespie, a member of Silent Hill's religious cult, the Order. She was born with extraordinarily supernatural powers that enabled her to do incredible things such as being able to will someone to die. Many in and out of the Order are afraid and shun her for her dangerous abilities. After Dahlia uses Alyssa to birth the Order's god in a ritual, she is scarred with several burns on her body. Following this, she is kept hidden away in a basement receiving constant medical care. With Alyssa's reincarnation, Cheryl appears in Silent Hill. Her psychic ability is triggered at an alarming rate, unleashing the fog upon the town. Here lies the reason she was included on this list. Through her psychic abilities, Alyssa unleashes the full force of Silent Hill, thus creating it. Silent Hill was already believed to be settled on sacred Native American ground. This means it's probably held some sacred power that amplified Alyssa's damage. So all the mental and nightmarish torture that the characters have to deal with is thanks to Alyssa. Number 9, Alma Wade. Another psychic has made our list. Alma Wade is one powerful psychic and arguably one of the most infamous psychic-powered villains ever. Since birth, she's had her psychic abilities, and over time they've bloomed into something truly frightening. This character can not only mind link to protagonist Point Man Fettel and Beckett, but also has the ability to summon nightmares and hallucinations. In addition to this, she has pyrokinesis, telekinesis, and literally can melt a person down to the bone. However, perhaps the scariest thing about her is the fact that she's not even a living person. Alma is physically dead, and all the chaos she causes in the game are through her soul living on because of her psychic energy. She's been featured on multiple game villains lists, so that paired with the fact that she is one of gaming's most terrifying villains earns her a spot on this list. Definitely try playing Fear. Number 8, Shodan from System Shock. Technically, Shodan is an AI computer who only looks and sounds like a female, but that shouldn't keep her from this list. If you played any of the 2 System Shock games, then you know this character well. Short of sentient hyper-optimized data access network, Shodan served as the AI for the research and mining station Citadel. After her system gets hacked and all her moral restraints are removed, she becomes the computer program from hell. Since she is the AI program for the entire space station, she has unlimited access and the ability to appear anywhere at any time. Number 7, Miko Hinasaki from Fatal Frame. Miku breaks the barriers of what a stereotypical female character is when she steps foot into the haunted Himuro mansion to look for her missing brother, Meifuyu Hinasaki. She finds no clues of her brother ever being in the mansion and only finds her mother's old camera. Trapped in this ghost-infested mansion, she uses the camera obscura as a means of defiance, while also continuing to look for her brother and a way out. Any sister that would risk being murdered by a vengeful spirit for her brother is a badass in my book. Number 6, Ellie from The Last of Us. The lovable, foul-mouthed, pint-sized legend herself. Anyone who has played The Last of Us can easily understand why Ellie is on this list. She reintegrated the pivotal role women can have in video games, even outside of horror. She is introduced as a teenage girl whom Joel must escort across a post-apocalyptic United States. However, we quickly realize that she's not your typical female character. She assists Joel in kicking zombies and humans' asses, even saving him from being killed on numerous occasions. In addition to this, she is immune to the virus and is believed to be the answer to a potential cure. With those many things and are wise beyond her years' wisdom, Ellie makes for the perfect companion in a zombie apocalypse and the ideal female heroine. Number 5, Zoe. Some might be opposed to Zoe appearing on this list over Rochelle, but we have our reasons. Zoe was an average college student with less than appealing grades. She preferred to watch horror movies in her dorm instead of studying. Turns out this would come in handy during the sudden outbreak in Left 4 Dead. Part of the reason Zoe was such an interesting character is because she looks like a girly girl, being small and seemingly non-athletic. She looks every bit the stereotypical damsel in distress character. However, she proves looks can be deceiving as she kicks as much zombie ass as the male characters around her. At first glance, she doesn't appear to be the kind of action heroine we've become used to, and that's what makes her unique. Number 4, Ellie Langford. For those of you that have played Dead Space 2, you'll be quite familiar with this female character. Before the Sprawl outbreak, Ellie worked as a Class 5 heavy equipment pilot under the Concordance Extraction Corporation. When she is introduced to us halfway through the game, she proves herself to be a reliable ally to Isaac and a badass right from the bat. This no-nonsense kind of girl's first scene depicts her blasting necromorphs down and taunting them. Following this, she turns her plasma cutter on you. Isaac and Ellie have a troubled past together. Later on, a mental patient she is looking after, named Strauss, uses a screwdriver to take out one of her eyes. However, this doesn't break her spirit, and she attacks him from behind before he can get to you, Isaac. Even Ellen Ripley would be impressed of this character's resilience. Number 3, Claire Redfield. Claire was first introduced in Resident Evil 2, where she entered Raccoon City in search of her brother, Chris. Unlike the majority of the other characters, Claire had no previous training of any kind whatsoever. She only knew a few things that Chris had taught her. Despite this, she was able to go head-to-head with hordes of zombies in Raccoon City and survive the events on Rockford Island in Resident Evil Code Veronica. Her lack of experience actually made her more relatable, and she was even able to stand her own against fan favorite Jill. Claire is now an activist for the organization Terra Save. She's come a long way from the biker chick she once was. Number 2, Heather Mason from Silent Hill 3. Heather is Harry's adopted daughter and the reincarnation of Alessa Gillespie and Cheryl Mason. This makes her a target of a cult's priestess, who wants to use her to rebirth the cult's god. Her father Harry is murdered. She encounters several hideous creatures who attempt to end her life, and she becomes entrapped in the other world. While going through this hell, she remains somewhat numb to the nightmare around her and continues to move onward unscathed. Another thing that sets her apart was her sharp-wittedness, short temper, and surprising invulnerability. She wasn't frail or an innocent schoolgirl like her female counterparts at that time. Heather was only an ordinary teenager who experiences real change, transforming into a truly kick-ass character during her journey. She's been overwhelmingly praised by critics and is regarded as a revolutionary female character in gaming. And number 1, Jill Valentine from Resident Evil. Where do we even begin? In Resident Evil 1996 and 2002, Jill was one of the only 2 females featured in the game. While Rebecca was a badass character in her own rights, she just couldn't hold a flame to Jill Valentine. From surviving a mansion full of the undead to defeating Nemesis, a souped-up tyrant soldier, Jill has set the standard for female characters in horror gaming. She's highly praised and adored by fans and critics alike, also remaining a recurring character in the Resident Evil series for good reason. In addition to topping female characters lists, she has topped non-sex-based video game characters lists numerous of times. There is no doubt Miss Valentine has earned her place as the best female character in horror gaming. And this has been Scorpio Girl with the Horror Gaming Reports. And remember, kiddies and creeps, we have everything horror, from entertainment and, of course, to the human race.
Got some love in your am so sorry for everything that has happened. Because in spite of what Mike says now, it is my fault. Because it was my project. Everything had to be my way. And this is where we've ended up. And it's all because of me that we're here now. Hungry and cold and hunted.
Chronicity, a state of prolonged duration, recurrent, habitual, chronic.
A new miniseries on chronic pain and illness by your friends Matt and Phil from Semi-Intellectual Musings.
We go beyond medical diagnosis to explore the often forgotten political, social, and personal sides.
You'll hear stories from extraordinary people overcoming extraordinary challenges.
Authors, entrepreneurs, volunteers, coaches, and caregivers.
They are so much more than their diagnoses, yet each have found ways to persevere.
You'll also hear some familiar voices from the indie podcast community,
showing that art, creativity, and passion are possible while living in chronicity.
These stories and more, starting April 1st at thesim.podbean.com.
Keep calm and don't go swimming. Don't have sex. Don't smoke. Don't drink. Don't go out. Don't split up. Don't run from the killer. If you trip, get up and run. And above all, turn on the stupid light before entering any room. Unless you do want to die. Just some friendly tips to save your life in a horror movie. From your friends at EMZT Radio.
And we're back!
And we're back!
Today we have Nicole Sell, writer, creator, director of the new film project Wendigo on Kickstarter. Hey, welcome, Nicole.
Hi, thanks for letting me come on.
Oh, thanks for joining us today. And you are part of our tribute to Women in Horror Month. Thank you very much.
What a coincidence.
Yes. So, Wendigo, tell us about this.
Would you like to? How would you like me to start it? Would you like me to talk about the story background, or how the story started out, or?
Okay, let's talk about the inspiration for the story. Where did you get the idea?
Actually, it was the inspiration started when I was in college, when I was attending the New York Film Academy out in California, and it was an assignment where I was supposed to write a script about the lore, like this legend in your home state. And in Wisconsin, we have the Beast of Bray Road. Mm-hmm. So it started off like that, but I just couldn't get the connection I was looking for in the monster, because I was like, there's so many werewolf movies, and I have a heart, and I was like, I can't get the main character to connect with this creature without it being so, like, cliche almost.
Right.
So I started researching more, like, monster possibilities, not specifically just werewolves. I was just looking for something that would not really a lot of people think about. And I remember reading on Native American lore this creature called a Wendigo, and I was just reading up about it, about how it mimics human voices. It could see it's the best hunter at night. It's fast. You can't kill it with a gun or a knife. I was just like, this monster is perfect.
Mm-hmm.
A monster where it can literally mimic a person and can lure a person into their own death. It's like, I was like, this is like the coolest thing I've ever looked up on.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a different type of story because it is based in Native American culture. I mean, it's all across the states with the Native American culture. And you can do so much with it because it's also still unknown on what it can do. Mm-hmm. So yeah, that's a great choice. So how long did it take for you to write this?
It took me 5 years.
Wow.
Writing, rewriting, and more rewriting. Because let me tell you, when the story first started off, it was about
It was a guy who was a news reporter who moved home because his dad died. And I was just like, I can't. I was like, I was hitting a wall with that story.
Yeah.
And now it's evolved into a single mom who moved from her busy life in the big city back to her hometown to start over with her children.
Mm-hmm.
And this creature, this creature literally comes back to finish what it started like 30 years ago.
So did she get away from the creature before the story?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. When she was 15, she escaped it.
Oh, rare.
Huh?
It's rare for the Wendigo to get away from him.
The way I had it, I don't want to give too much away of how that happened, because my producer and I, who we've been talking, we're just like, this is the opening sequence to how she got away. Was really, I always feel bad for the young actors who's going to be playing the younger version of the main character.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's just like, oh, this is bad, but it works.
Good. It's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. So this hasn't been filmed yet, right? You're still raising the funds for it.
Yeah, the only thing I've done which is attached to the Kickstarter page, is the little trailer I had created, a little teaser. I filmed the scenes, and my friend in Iowa, who we went to film school together, she edited it together.
Oh, nice.
And I'm again sorry for the click clacking.
Oh yeah, I hear it now.
Everybody say hi to Barton. He's deciding to come and hang out. So it was. I lost my train of thought because my dog's nails clicking on the floor down. Oh, you have the teaser trailer. Sorry about that.
Yeah, no problem.
The teaser trailer kind of makes it look like it's very Blair Witch a little bit. But that's just to show the teaser. What I really want to my way I really want to film this is really like Jaws meets The Watcher in the Woods.
Yeah. Nice.
Especially with the camera angles and stuff that they use. I love the camera angles that they used in Jaws, even though that was just because the shark didn't work.
Mm-hmm. Right.
But The Watcher in the Woods, I love the camera work that they did with it, where anytime anybody entered the woods, the camera is following them.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And I love that.
Oh. So this sounds like this movie is more story-driven, because talks about, I'm reading your page here, that it deals with the guilt, the trauma, and learning to forgive yourself. Wow. Yeah, it's very story-driven. The Wendigo has a lot to do with, it's like the centerpiece to why she is the way she is. Ooh. So we're looking at, and also a type of redemption, possibly. A little bit, yeah. Wow. I mean, she holds a lot of guilt because somebody she was close to died protecting her from this thing. Oh. And she holds a lot of guilt and a lot of self-hate and a lot of that. Wow. All right. Let's talk more about, do you have a crew already? I have a crew. They are a video production company called Gamc.io. Oh. And they are based in Illinois. And they're an awesome group of people. I've been talking to them for we've been developing all of this plan for the filming for about 3 months now. Oh boy. And we're just trying to, like I said, we're still trying to gain the funds so we can get it going. So right now it's a lot of talk and a lot of storyboard planning and all that fun stuff. Okay. Have you also cast it yet, or is that still on hold? No, casting has been just about completed. I found my main character.
I just sent her offer letter. Just got to wait for SAG to say I can have her.
Ooh.
So I can't really say her name yet until SAG says, yeah, she can work with you.
Oh, okay. Is there going to be, so there's children in it too?
Yes.
If she's a mom, okay. And then it said something about a dog and a cat.
Yep, there's a dog and a cat too, which the dog and the cat are very important.
Oh, boy.
Because especially the cat, everybody, I kind of wanted to get rid of the stigma of black cats being bad luck.
That's going to be hard.
It's going to be hard, but I love black cats myself. So her daughter has a black cat, and the cat literally sits in the window at night and it's growling.
Oh. Whoa.
And they think it's because the cat used to live in the big city, and now they moved her out in the middle of nowhere, and she's just seeing all these animals she's never seen before.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
They don't realize she's seeing something a lot worse than a rabbit.
Kitties are funny.
Kitties are funny. And
plus, they also have this little stigma of being like in two different worlds, like they can see the other side or see things that humans normally can't see. I mean, they're great for stories.
Yes, and dogs are great that way too. And
yes,
the dog in the script, he's based off the Labrador I used to have. He was a I'm trying to describe him. He was a goofy goober. That's all I could call him. But he was also very protective as well as being the goofy goober that he was.
Oh, comic relief hero dog.
Kind of a little bit. Dog, because as my producer says, he goes, the dog was smart. The dog left.
See, that's one of the rules in horror movies, that the dogs and cats are going to be okay. Just leave them alone.
I laugh watching Jaws because I laugh at myself because I'm more upset that the shark ate the dog.
Oh yeah, I know.
The guy's on the beach calling for his dog, and you see the stick, and I'm like, that is so depressing.
Or, I mean, they did that also in Friday the 13th. You thought you saw a dead dog, and the dog actually was okay at the end.
I'm not a fan of dogs dying or cats dying. So I'm just like, yeah, we're gonna switch that up just a little bit.
That's a little. It pulls on the heartstrings a little more when it's a beloved pet that gets, hurt or killed in a horror movie. It's more heart-wrenching to me when that happens. I'm like, oh no, not the cat. Oh.
Exactly. It's like the poor kitty.
Yeah.
I remember I was like, like I said, going back to Jaws, I was like, oh, poor puppy. And my aunt looks at me and she goes, poor puppy, what about the kid?
See?
I was just like, but the puppy.
Yeah.
The puppy was just swimming and getting his stick.
So
puppy.
Oh. So, how many days do you have planned for shooting?
We are looking at 6 weeks.
Oh, because it's a feature film, right?
Yes.
All right.
And when do you start shooting?
Yes.
We are aiming to film starting in June. My goal is hopefully to get it started on June 1st, but if that adjusts, I'm okay with that. But June is my goal.
And what location are you filming at?
We are looking at Michigan.
Oh.
Yeah.
For the woodsy area.
Yeah, and actually we found, because I was just in Michigan about 3 weeks ago, visiting family, and my grandmother actually has like 38 acres of land.
Oh.
Of woodsy land, and she's just like, can you please use my land?
Oh, that's awesome.
She's like, I even have the abandoned shack that you need. Can you?
Oh, nice.
She was just like, can you just She goes, and if you guys are going to knock it down, could you?
Wow.
My land.
That is so great to have that available to you, because that's usually the worst thing is the location, and you have to rent it or ask permission, and sometimes they're not so willing.
Yeah, no, because it's my grandmother and my aunt. They're both like, can you just film it here? Film all your scary scenes here.
So you guys going to camp out there while you're there? I mean, you have open land.
We haven't figured out the lodging part yet.
Oh, okay. I'd be like, that'd be perfect to get into that, but I'm sure it's probably cold. Well, no, June. It should be a little warmer.
It should be a little warmer. I don't know I think everybody would not have a lot of fun with all the amount of mosquitoes out there.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Is it near water?
They've got a big pond in their on their land.
Oh, yeah. The mosquitoes would be awful. Oh. Oh.
But yeah, we're excited. I sent the pictures of like the structure that she was talking about because this whole shack is like it pops up consistently in the script, so it's like important.
Oh, good. And you've got that. Nice.
Yeah, because we were trying to figure it out. We're like, how are we gonna get this shack and make it, look abandoned without destroying somebody else's property? Because we're just like, I don't want to ask somebody, hey, can I use your stone shack? Oh, and can I also like make it look like a bunch of hoodlums like spray painted all over it and stuff?
Oh yeah, and at the end we're gonna blow it up. Is that okay?
Yeah, that's okay. If we just, we knock it over. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Just make it implode on itself.
I love those conversations.
I don't want to do that.
Oh yeah.
I'm just like, I don't even know how to make that a convincing conversation. Can I ruin your property just for this? I promise we'll put it back the way I found it.
Close. It'll be close.
As close as I can get it. I'm not a miracle worker.
So, how much is this mostly going to be practical effects for the Wendigo and all that, or are you also going to throw in some CGI or anything like that?
I'm throwing in a little bit of special effects. I have a friend who I went to film school with. He does amazing special effects work, and I would love it if I could have him help out with, like, especially with some of them. I don't want to put a poor actor in a lot of prosthetics for so long. Because I would just feel guilty just filming and this poor guy's just like dying inside this prosthetic mask for hours.
Yeah. Yeah, sometimes that happens.
I've heard, I mean, even Jim Carrey put a foot through the wall when he had to wear his Grinch makeup. I'm like, I don't want that.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. But he does wonderful special effects, and I also would like, so I would like, for like the faraway shots, I feel like it would, like, if there's a moment where the Wendigo is walking around the corner, I would love to have like a special effect where we can have like a full body look.
Mm-hmm.
Like the only time we see the full body.
Ooh.
Because you don't really see it until like the last half of the movie. Most of the time it's just following and it's mimicking. It's really creepy just because you know it's there, but you can't see it.
Yeah. I think that is much scarier when you can't see it yet, but you can hear it and you know it's there, but you can't see it. I think that's a little scarier than, well, and then when you see it, it has to be terrifying.
Yeah. My cousin is actually designing the Wendigo as we speak. He just, which is actually on the Kickstarter page, the face, that's his design.
Really?
Yeah, that's his Wendigo design.
Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one.
He's right now he's trying to figure out the actual full body look, because when he showed my aunt his mom, the face, she's just like, you need to stop showing me. That's really terrifying. Because he kept asking for her opinion. She goes, that is so scary. Awesome. Okay, now you can stop showing me.
Well, that's the point. It has to be scary. It has to be really scary.
Because my director mind, because when he finally showed me the sketch himself, I got so excited because I started picturing that very moment when you finally see its face for the first time.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
Just that I don't want to give away too much because otherwise it's going to ruin the fun.
Right. Okay.
But it's gonna that whole. I'm excited. I'm excited about that. Just that one specific scene. I'm like, I can't wait to film that part.
Ooh. All right. So yeah, let's talk a little bit about the funding. You're asking for $250,000.
Yes.
And that sounds like it covers a lot of like the makeup effects, the cast, the crew.
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially if I can get this union actress part of this. Yeah.
Oh right. That's right. And wardrobe. Oh, wardrobe would be fun.
Oh yeah, she's having a lot of fun. She already sent me like her flip book of designs that she has thought up for the characters, which I sent her some picture. Here's a little fun fact. The main character, she's actually, her personality and everything, she's actually based off my mom.
Oh.
And so she's based off my mom. My mom was the inspiration for this character.
Now, how does she dress?
My mom dresses very she wears sneakers, jeans, and a t-shirt. If it's cold, a sweater. And my mom's very laid back.
Casual wear. All right.
I mean, it's funny because it kind of shows the contrast of the character herself, because when you see her in her adult life, she used to live in this rich lifestyle, but even in the rich lifestyle, she was still just her.
Oh, that's cool.
And that's what she was trying to instill. That's another thing she's trying to teach her children who grew up in this rich lifestyle, and all of a sudden, oh, hey, we're moving into this small town now. Have fun.
Okay, so it's we're down to 21 days as of today for the funding, and you chose an all or nothing for the. Okay.
I did, and I'm very optimistic. So all I can think of is if it doesn't work, if this one doesn't work this time around, it's not going to stop me from still trying again and again.
Oh, good. So you're thinking of other ways if you don't get your funding, there's other ways you can raise funding?
I've been trying to talk to people. I've been trying to meet people. I've have producers who are giving me advice of how to do that. Just finding what is just meeting the people that I need, to put it that way.
Oh, good. So Sarah, do you have some questions?
Yeah, since you have been writing about Wendigo for such a long time, is it now your favorite horror creature?
It actually is, which ironically, one of the friends that I have, he calls himself the Wendigo, which I find so funny now. And because he's way before the Wendigo even started becoming the creature that it was, he had his own comic book dealing with his own version of Wendigo, and I was just like, I promise you, this is so not what you wrote about. But yeah, no, this Wendigo is probably my favorite just because it's so mysterious. I mean, you go into the lore, even most Native American tribes won't even talk about it. They will literally be like, yeah, no, we believe in it. We won't talk about it. But yes.
Wow.
Cool.
We don't want to, because they see it as a evil spirit, and certain tribes believe that if you talk about it, it invites it in.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why they're like, oh yeah, we believe it, but no, we won't talk about it with you.
And how do I get some story here?
Well, it's amazing because a lot of the stories I've heard about people. This is why I love YouTube. A lot of the scary stories I've looked up because I typed in Wendigos, and I've actually found stories where people have said they have seen one.
Oh.
And you're listening to their first-hand accounts about how they believe they've seen one, and I'm like, well, first of all, that'd be like the most terrifying thing that I don't even know if I could talk about it to a YouTube page.
Wow.
And so hearing these stories and hearing so many people's different experiences that they said they had, but they all say the same thing. It mimics a human voice every time.
Mm-hmm.
Which is why I think is the creepiest thing, because it's like it can mimic anything it wants.
Yeah, because it's trying to entice its prey.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I heard somebody say it mimicked their aunt who was in another county.
Oh.
Wow.
And I was like, that is terrifying. You know this person is in another county, but yet you know the voice right at the front door.
Yeah.
And
wow.
Yeah, that's one of the, and there's so many designs of that people draw up of Wendigo. There's, like I said, my cousin's design, and I find it interesting. I feel people cross the Wendigo design with also the Native American shapeshifter.
Mm-hmm.
Skinwalker, excuse me. I always
Skinwalkers.
Yeah. Shifter, but I mean Skinwalker.
Yeah.
But because I've seen people design the Wendigo with horns on the head and the deer head, and I'm like, that's a Skinwalker look.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, no. To answer your question, Sarah, it's become my favorite creature. It knocked off the Dog Man stories.
Cool.
Just because I feel like it's almost like the perfect predator.
I think so. Because it uses its environment also for traps. And it also can set up traps.
Yes.
So it has a human thinking ability.
Yeah, and the stories because you have, like I said, the Native American lore where they see it as an evil spirit, and then you have people then you have other lores where they believe it was once a person that got so desperate during some sort of horrible condition, like they were a lone survivor or something. They got so desperate over being starving, and they just want to live, so they started eating the bodies of the dead around them, and that's how they become this monster.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Right. So
I was just that's just scary in itself.
Well, yeah. Yeah. So you've been studying this for quite a long time then.
Very long time.
Okay.
This project, I've worked on many projects, but this one is the big one, the big passion one, the one where I've put my heart and soul into all aspects of it.
Whoa. Sounds like, definitely a big project deal. Nice.
Yeah, it's when the saying goes, blood, sweat, and tears were put into this. Oh, yeah, very much so. Especially when coming up with like I said, coming up with the storyline itself, where I was just like, I can't just have a monster be there just because it needs to be there.
Right.
I needed to be there for some reason.
Yeah. It's kind of like, it's the background of the whole story. Just, it's in the background because it's mostly about this woman.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's about her, and it's like, I'll just say this really quick. There is a moment where that's like the creep, which is like one of the most creepiest scenes I wrote, because my dog scared me like mid writing this scene. Like,
nice.
she hears something and she looks out, she doesn't see anything, but then she looks again and there's like a scratch on her window.
Ooh.
Like it's taunting her.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the thing that makes it so interesting because I have a friend who helped me get the kinks out of how to make the Wendigo work without making him look cliche.
Right.
Because he's just like, well, you made it like this, so why are you writing it this way? Oh, that's true. Why am I doing it this way? Because he's been, this friend of mine, he's been like a soundboard of making sure the story works. Because that's, like I said, 5-year project. You work on something for so long.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's.
So, have you been a long time horror fan?
Ironically, I became a horror fan after I graduated high school. Because I remember the first movie I watched, I was 5 years old, and my dad thought it'd be a good idea to watch Poltergeist.
Oh, no!
My mom's answer was, yeah, you are so staying up with them. But then I wasn't a horror fan for so long. I was like, I hate being scared. I hate being terrified. Then I graduated high school, and I don't know what triggered it, but I was like, oh, this is kind of fun. Then I just started, and I haven't looked back since. I just watch horror movies all the time. I have like the original Amityville Horror with Margot Kidder.
Yes.
And I have both Conjuring films.
Mm-hmm.
And I have so many like the old. I have like such the class like, and of course, actually no, I do remember. I take that back. It wasn't after high school that I got into horror. It was actually my English teacher in middle school that got me into it.
Oh.
She showed us Watcher in the Woods in English, and it was the first Bette Davis movie I had ever seen.
You know, me too. That was the first time I saw her was Watcher in the Woods.
Yeah. It's funny because the video production company I'm working with never heard of it.
What?
Yeah, they're just like, what is that? Like, you just go look it up.
And they even did a remake of it,
which I wasn't too thrilled with.
Eh.
Only because I love the way Bette Davis did it.
Yeah, it seemed like Angelica Houston just couldn't hold that role, you know? It just wasn't right with her in it. Especially that pond scene. I was like, oh, that scene to me is so iconic because she just looks so angry and just like, oh my gosh, is she really going to kill her? Mm-hmm. Right. Yeah, just the remake, I was disappointed in the remake. So disappointed.
She actually only startled me one time, Angelica Houston did in that movie. It was in the very beginning after she meets the girls and the oldest girl goes inside and she just suddenly turns and she has her hands on the pillar looking at the woods.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
That was like the one time I got startled. I was like, ooh, that was kind of creepy.
Yeah, and then after that, it just kind of fizzled out.
Yeah, so, I was like, you kind of put all the scare in like the first 10 minutes.
Yeah, and then just couldn't hold it. Hold it. Yeah.
Not like the way Bette Davis did it. And that's kind of ironic because I feel like it's also because Bette Davis's eyes made it really creepy because her eyes were her iconic eyes.
Yes. Yes, I agree.
And I find myself because I work at a hospital,
mm-hmm.
and sometimes if I'm alone on a floor, I actually find myself humming that little music box.
Oh, yeah, that is a creepy tune.
It is a creepy tune, and then I stop myself. I'm like, I probably shouldn't be doing this as I'm alone. There's nobody here, and I'm humming the song.
Oh,
but yeah, my English teacher showed us that, and it wasn't supposed to be part of a horror section of the class. She was using it as a mystery lesson.
It had a mystery in it, yes.
It had a mystery in it, yeah. But I was just like, this movie is terrifying.
Yes, it was. It scared the crap out of me when I was little. Oh yeah.
And then I found it really funny. I was like, the credits pop up and you see Disney, and it's like, this is a Disney movie.
I know. That's something wicked this way comes.
No kidding, right? And after that, I haven't looked back ever since watching Watcher in the Woods. I think because when VHS was a thing.
Yes, I still have a collection of that. Yes, I do.
And she loaned me her VHS that she used for her lessons. I almost broke the tape.
Oh, no.
But thankfully now it's on DVD now.
Yes. Yes.
I have like the special edition DVD of that. And then came to when I was living after high school, I tried Poltergeist again. And then I was laughing because I was like, oh my gosh, I was so scared of this when I was 5. And now I'm just laughing because this ghost looks like a Great Dane. This movie was so scary. I also didn't like the remake of that one either.
Yeah, the remake.
They need to stop remaking horror films.
Yeah, but they're not going to. There's more on the list. Like, they're hitting more of the 80s classics to remake.
Well, I heard that they're planning on remaking The Creature from the Black Lagoon, and I'm like, no.
Yeah.
Leave that one alone. Leave it.
Several companies want to remake the Monsters of Horror, and
I worked for a survey company when they did the Tom Cruise The Mummy.
Yeah.
And I laughed because there was a comment written on the survey card that said, the name Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde is too on the nose. And I was just like, you do know that was a character in a book, right? Like, there's no legitimate book called Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. Just saying.
I mean, they're even going to remake Christine. That's on the list. I mean, it's pissing me off.
And I saw they're doing Pet Sematary too, and I'm like, come on, even Stephen King is scared of his own book. Come on now.
Yeah.
One book Stephen King wrote that terrified him.
Yeah. But he's starting to take back the rights to a lot of his stuff, so he doesn't want his stuff remade.
Makes sense.
Yeah, so that's good.
The one book of his that I read all the way through was actually Cujo.
Ooh.
Which ironically is the one book he does not remember writing.
Well, okay.
He honestly does not remember writing Cujo.
Wow.
He knows he did because manuscript was in his house.
Wow.
He doesn't remember. And
well, he must have been on some good drugs.
Well, he's a recovering alcoholic, so he was probably blacked out. And
see what comes out when you're all drunk.
Because especially when he's like, I'm scared of Pet Sematary, and I'm like, that's your book. If it's scaring you, that's too intense.
Yeah. It also is a good book.
It's a good book if it scares you.
Yeah.
Like even writing some of the scenes in my own script, it scared me, and I'm the writer.
Yeah. Well, that's good. If you scare yourself writing, you're on it.
It was just all I could think about was just writing that one scene, and I think all my dog did was jump off the bed, and I almost jumped like 20 feet out of my chair.
Wow.
Because I got so into it. I was like in the mind of her and the Wendigo, so it was just like I was just so in the zone.
Oh, that's great. That's great.
Then sorry, I keep trailing off.
Okay.
Yeah, and like I said, I haven't since Watcher in the Woods. I haven't looked back since of not watching a horror film, which is funny because my mom and my sister can't stand horror movies. They hate being scared.
Yeah.
And here's me. I'm just like, oh, I'm gonna go see this one, but It's hard to find. It's hard to find a horror movie these days that actually terrifies me, except for the Conjuring movies.
So, what's the last horror movie that you watched recently?
Gotta think on that one. I started watching that Annabelle: The Creation.
Oh yeah.
But I have yet to get all the way through it because I need to just have a day where I have a moment to actually sit down and watch it all the way through. Because right now I just keep watching it in pieces.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's hard. It's hard. Yeah.
My days are so busy. I'm working on when to go when I'm not working at the hospital, and then I'm working at the hospital for 8 hours, and then I'm coming home working on this. So you forget to turn on TV and a movie every once in a while.
Oh. So I noticed one of the pledges is a walk-on role, and you have up to 15. So you left the story open enough to add extras in there?
Yep. There's like a diner scene. There's a coffee shop scene. There's some scenes in the actual town that would work. That would work for walk-on roles and extras.
Oh. So are you also filming in town? Which town in Michigan?
Right now, we were looking at Manistee, but that is so far away.
Oh boy.
So we're looking. I would like to stay in the Hartford area where my grandmother's land is, which is a very small town. We're going to be scouting actual locations soon.
Okay. So there's more indoor scenes than outdoor, or it's mostly going to be outdoor?
A lot of it is outdoor. There's some indoor scenes, like we see the inside of the family home. Like I said, there's also this coffee shop, the diner. There's also a bar scene. There's a lot of locations, but they're all important.
Good.
Because I had somebody say, you need to cut down some locations, and I literally went through the script and I can't. Every location has a specific conversation or moment that needs to happen that pushes it forward. I can't just take it away.
Yeah, because that'll take away from the story, and the movie will be a little lopsided, is what I call it.
Yeah, because then you'll know that something is missing.
Yeah.
Especially me.
Hey, Matt. Got any questions?
I'm here. Relax.
I was like,
no, I got one, and that is, you're actually, I think, the first person we've ever interviewed that's dealt with union actors. What's that process like? Because, like I said, we've never had anybody like that, so we've never got asked that question.
Very long.
Oh.
Because you have to fill out a certain form, like literally telling them every little teeny tiny detail of what that actor is going to do, where she's going to be. Are you what? But at this point, I just what's the it's like where is she going to be at? What time is she going to be there? What's your budget for this? Who is your crew for this? How many union actors do you want in here? How many non-union actors are part of this?
Wow.
It's a very long process. But I'm working with my producer to get that together because I really want her part of this, and she really wants to be part of this.
Nice.
She's been patiently waiting for a few weeks now. And every once in a while she'll send me an email going, hey, any updates for me? Not
yet. Right.
As soon as
how long is the wait for an answer?
Because I haven't finished. I'm still working with my producer to filling out the form because they want line by line budget.
Oh, okay.
So that's probably the part that's taking the longest.
Right. Well, yeah.
Is the line by line budget of where are they staying? Where are you filming? What are you using? What cameras are you using? What makeup artists are you using?
Jeez, they really want details.
I mean, I get it because they want to make sure that she gets her fair share
Mm-hmm.
because she is union, and we have to follow the union rules, which I knew, but I reached out to her asking her if she would like to take a look at this role, knowing I was going to do this. So I was quite prepared to going through the process of having her part of this.
Wow.
I was so prepared for it because she's a good actress, and I've auditioned like probably over 150 women before her.
Wow.
And they weren't reading her lines right.
Oh.
I was seeing wonderful actresses, wonderful, but I just wasn't getting that specific emotion I was looking for.
Mm-hmm.
And it helps that she's a mom herself.
Uh-huh.
So I felt like she was able to get more of that connection to her that I was looking for.
Oh.
And I mean, I'm like I said, I'm not down to the other actresses. They were all so good. They're all talented, but they just wasn't, the puzzle pieces weren't fitting.
Right.
And
that's important. That's important.
Yeah, and that's the hardest part about auditioning is finding that piece. That's like it's next to finding funding and everything like that. Finding the cast that does it the way you imagine it is like so difficult.
Oh, well, yeah, that takes the time, is getting the people together.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, have just felt everybody together. Just now need the funding.
Yeah. Okay, so why don't you tell people where they can find out about your project besides from us?
Well, you can find everything about the project on Facebook. There is a Facebook page called The Haunted Investigator.
Oh.
And I post links of updates and everything like that, and also reminders of the Kickstarter page to go and find out more information. I try to keep everything updated to show what's going on with the IMDb page that it's part of.
Oh, good.
That is set up for it. Facebook and IMDb.
All right. Thank you so much, Nicole, for joining us today. So we've been talking to Nicole Sell for her Kickstarter project of Wendigo, coming soon. And we will let you know when we know. Thank you, Nicole, for joining us today.
Thank you so much. Nice talking to all of you.
was drunk. It was Comic-Con.
9:30.
There are certain people, often well enough liked, genial souls whom one is always glad to meet, yet who have the faculty of disappearing without being missed. Crutchley was one of them. It wasn't until his name was mentioned casually that evening at the Stourgates that most of us remembered we hadn't seen him for the last year or two.
Yes, I remember. I was talking to old Crutchley at the time.
Oh, he's awfully sweet. I always liked him. Wasn't it queer? He seems to have dropped completely out of things.
For the last year or two, he's been living very quietly with his people in Norfolk. Really? I heard from him only the other day, as a matter of fact.
Oh, never.
I wonder why he's chosen to efface himself. He was rather a lamb in his way. I used to adore that shiny black hair of his, which always made me think of patent leather.
It's as white as the ceiling now.
Pardon?
I said it's as white as the ceiling now.
Oh, no. We're speaking of Simon Crutchley.
I mean Simon Crutchley.
But that lovely, sleek hair. What happened? Did he have a nervous breakdown?
Something like that.
Biotex, the new soak and pre-wash powder, presents Beyond Midnight by Michael McCabe.
In this series of programs, ladies, it's our intention to talk to you about Biotex and promote it to you for the laundry. Now, we've made claims that Biotex will get rid of the stubbornest stains just by soaking. I dare say, like others, you feel a bit skeptical about these claims, and so we've been collecting letters from ladies who use Biotex, just to quote to you from time to time in order to authenticate our advertisement. And Mrs. O'Duff of Beachford, Sea Point in the Cape, wrote and said that Biotex is a very welcome product for the household. Biotex has a unique quality that it does what it claims to do. Mrs. Duff finished by saying, I have proved your claims about Biotex and am delighted with the results. And then Mrs. Rita Stewart of Hans Stratham Avenue, Littleton, Transvaal, said, we have tried your Biotex for all our children's clothes and also white underclothing, and we're absolutely amazed at the change in their appearance. And I can assure you, said Mrs. Stewart, that I will be a regular user of Biotex. So, buy Biotex for yourself and your laundry.
Good of you, Andy, share your cab like this.
Our ways lie in the same direction. There was a method in my madness, though, Price, old man. I wanted to ask you about Crutchley.
Oh.
I smell a story.
Yes. It's a queer and rather terrible story. There's even one bit that he couldn't or wouldn't tell. So no one but he knows what the sight was that sent him off his head for 6 months and turned his hair as white as snow. The night's young yet. Come to my place to have a drink. I'll tell you all I know. Driver. Anyway, he was greatly interested in Joan of Arc, you see, and decided to go over to France to work, as it were, on the spot. I don't know if you like Rouen. Crutchley was delighted with it. He found a hotel practically undiscovered by the English and the Americans. L'Hôtel d'Avignon. It stands halfway down one of those old-world streets near the Gare de la Rouge on d'Arc. Crutchley liked it immediately and decided to stay. It was out of season. There were plenty of rooms. To the hotel where many ate but few slept. Crutchley then had a choice of rooms on the first floor.
Monsieur?
Now, this seems
Ah. There's a little garden out here.
Oui, monsieur. The hotel is very old. It is built onto the side of the hill. The garden...
And the garden's a story about the street. Oh, I care for this. There won't be much sun, will it, though? Well, that's a plane tree, isn't it?
Monsieur?
Yes, I think it is. It's so quiet. Reminds me of some of the little squares in the court.
Oui, monsieur.
Yes, please. I should like this room. Please arrange for my luggage to be sent up. I'm a writer, you see, and the garden appeals to me as a place to work.
It never occurred to our friend that a square, enclosed on all sides by brick and almost completely starved of sunlight, would be something of an unhealthy place. He was quite fascinated. The very next day he took pen and writing materials, and sitting on one of the decrepit paint-peeling seats, he started on his study of the Maid of Orleans. To begin with, his writing wasn't successful. I think Crutchley mistook the almost unnatural silence for peace. Instead, the lack of noise bred in him an indefinable restlessness. It was almost a relief to break off from his labors and go out into the little town. Crutchley had 5 days at the hotel, 5 fruitless days as far as work went, when something strange happened. It was his habit to undress in the dark because his window was overlooked by dozens of others. One night he was smoking and stepping into his pajama trousers when he wandered over the window and looked out.
Plane tree might be carved out of jade. Nothing stirring at all.
He looked down to the old green seat where he tried to work only that morning. With a faint, unreasonable thrill and a slight tingling of the nostrils, he realized that someone was sitting there.
It's a woman.
Yes, a woman. She sat with her head turned away. One arm was thrown along the sloping back of the seat. He said that her attitude was one of extreme dejection, of abject and complete despair.
When? This time of night? Can't see. I could never see her face. Not even from one of the windows on the western side. The scarf she's wearing hides completely. You can never know the sorrows of others. So many people in this world, in every country. Alas. Crutchley, you're a romantic. Probably one of the chambermaids had a tiff for the head waiter. No, she doesn't look.
And then he went to bed, but made no effort to sleep. Instead, he lay there, his mind full of the woman and her attitude upon the old leaning seat. He had a definite and urgent temptation to go out and look at her, to use force, if necessary, in turning her face, so that he might look into her eyes. Finally, he could bear it no longer.
She's gone. Yes, well, you didn't expect her to sit there all night, did you, Crutchley? Come in.
Good morning, monsieur.
Good morning.
You sleep well, monsieur?
I got so. Well, I tell you what, I've been meaning to ask you for the last week. Can I have a harder pillow?
Monsieur?
Pillow. Harder.
I'm sorry. My French is about as good as my Lithuanian, and I don't speak that at all. A pillow. This thing here. Harder.
Ah, oui.
Yeah, thanks. Oh, one more thing. Who's the lady who sits out there in the garden late at night? I mean, I say sits. Well, she was there last night anyway. Somehow, though, I did have the feeling that she might go there often. Who is she? A sort of sad-looking woman.
The chambermaid turned towards the window. Our friend saw a rapid movement of her right hand. It was done very quickly. Just the touch of her forefinger on her brow and a rapid fumbling of fingers at her breast. But he knew she had made the sign of the cross.
There is no lady staying in the house, monsieur. Monsieur has been mistaken. Will monsieur take coffee or the English tea?
Darling, let's go out and paint the town red.
But what about your headache?
Oh, that's gone. Grandpa headache powders did the trick.
Grandpa headache powders kill pain, soothe strained nerves, and lift depression. Grandpa headache powders are extra effective because they have a triple action. Grandpa headache powders work extra fast because they dissolve almost immediately. Get fast, effective relief from any pain, all pain. Get Grandpa headache powders.
Ah, Grandpa.
Soak, that's all you have to do. Soak, just for an hour or two you'll find things look as good as new when you use new Biotex.
Amazing new Biotex acts with a biological action to soak out the stubbornest stains and loosen dirt. New Biotex is great for all textiles and synthetics, whites and colors. It contains no bleach. Get amazing new Biotex today and let soaking do the washing.
The wine list, monsieur. Oh, thank you, Pierre. Thanks. Are you quite comfortable in your room, sir? Oh, quite thank you. There is a very pleasant room in the front, sir. It's quite so big, and then there is the sun. Perhaps you like it better, sir, huh? The white wine there, please. How do you pronounce it, Pierre? Le Cromertin, monsieur. Oh, good choice, very good. The room, sir. In the front? No, thanks. No. I shouldn't get a wink of sleep. You see, none of your motor traffic seems to be equipped with silencers. With trams, motor horns, and market cars bumping about all over the place across those cobbles, I should never get any peace. Very good, monsieur. I believe I'm on the trail of something queer here. The chambermaid's been talking to him, obviously. I wonder what's wrong. What they think is wrong.
Crutchley forgot about it for a little while and tucked into the very excellent food they served at L'Hôtel d'Avignon. When the head waiter returned to his table, though, with the wine, he reopened the subject.
Why do you want me to change my room?
I do not wish for you to change your room if you are satisfied, monsieur.
Well, when I am not satisfied, I say so. Why do you think I may not be?
I only wish for you to be more comfortable, sir. There is no sun behind the house. It is better to be where the sun comes sometimes. Besides, I think monsieur is one who sees.
The head waiter's last remark seemed cryptic, but our friend let it go. He didn't feel like discussing the sad lady he'd seen at any length with Pierre. During the afternoon and evening, Crutchley had tried to work. He was incapable of concentration, though. He knew, and he was angry with himself because he knew, that he was eking out his patience until night came, in the hope of seeing once more that still figure of despair in the garden. Before he even reached the window, he knew he would see her sitting in the same place. He was unable to explain, even to himself, why he knew. It was midnight. She was there. As before, and Cratchly felt his eagerness mingled with an indescribable fear. He seemed to hear a cry of warning from the honest workaday world into which he had been born. He said it was like starting on a voyage, feeling no motion from the ship, and then being suddenly aware of a spreading space of water between the vessel and the quay.
Madam, look at me. Madam, let me see your face. Then I must come to you.
Monsieur. Where are you going, sir?
What the devil's got to do with you?
The devil, eh? Bien, monsieur. I think perhaps he has something to do with it. You will please have the goodness to return to your room. No, not the room which you have left, sir. That is not a good room. But come with me, I shall show you another.
What do you mean by interfering with me? It's not a prison or an asylum. I'm going to the garden for a breath of fresh air before I go to sleep.
That, sir, is impossible. The air of the garden is not good at night. Besides, the doors are locked, and the patron, he have the keys.
You're blasted insolent, that's what you are. Tomorrow I'll report you. Now get out of my way. Take me for a thief because I leave my room at midnight? Never mind. I can reach the garden from my window. What do you think you're doing, man?
Monsieur. Monsieur, the bon Dieu has sent me to save you. I have waited tonight because I know you must try to enter the garden. Have I your permission to enter your room with you and speak with you a little while?
This is bedlam. Oh, if you must.
I do not think she is there, sir, because I am here and I do not see. Monsieur is the one who sees, as I tell him this morning. But he will not see her when he is with one who does not see.
What are you talking about? Who is she?
Who she is, I cannot say, sir.
And the head waiter blessed himself with quick, nervous fingers.
But who she was, I can perhaps tell you.
You mean to try and tell me she's what they call a ghost, apparition, or some blasted thing?
It does not matter what one calls her, monsieur. She is here sometimes for certain who are able to see her. Monsieur wishes very much to see her face. Monsieur must not see it. There was one who looked 5 years ago, and another perhaps 7, 8. The first he make die after 2-3 days. The other, he is still mad. That is why I come to save you, monsieur. There was in this town a notary of the name Lebrun. And in a village halfway from here to Dieppe is a grand chateau in which there lived a lady, une jeune fille, with her father and mother. And the lady was very beautiful, but not very good, monsieur.
Well, go on. But I don't quite see what this has to do with...
You will, please. Eh bien, Monsieur Lebrun fell in love with her. I think she loved him too, better as all the others. So he make application for her hand. But he was bourgeois and she was aristocrat. He had not so very much money, and the application, it was refused. And so they find for her another husband who she loved not, and she find herself someone else, and there is divorce.
And she have many lovers, for she was very beautiful, but not so very good. For 10 years, perhaps, she make her beauty to make slaves of men. And one he made kill himself because of her. But she does not mind. And all the time, Monsieur Lebrun, he does not marry because he could not love another woman. But at last, this lady, she have a dreadful accident. It is a lamp which blow up and hurt her face. In those days, the surgeons did not know how to make new features. Oh, it was dreadful, monsieur. She had been so lovely, and now she have nothing left except just the eyes. And she go about wearing a long, thick veil because she have become terrible to see. And her lovers, they no longer love. And she have no husband because she have been divorced. What happened?
You mean she's the one?
Monsieur Lebrun, he write to her father, and once more he make offer for her hand. The father, he is willing because she no longer very young, and she is terrible to see. But the father, he's a man of honor, monsieur, and he insist that Monsieur Lebrun see her face before he decide if he still wish her in marriage. So a meeting is arranged, and her father and her mother bring her here to this hotel. The lady come with them wearing her thick veil. She insists to see Monsieur Lebrun alone. So she wait out there in the garden. Love is not always what we think it. Perhaps Monsieur Lebrun think all the time that his love goes deeper than her beauty, and when he see her dreadful, changed face, he find out the truth. Perhaps when she put aside the veil, she see that he flinch. But Monsieur Lebrun, he walk out alone, and she stays sitting on the seat down there. And presently her mother and her father come, but she does not speak or move. And in her hand they find a little empty bottle, monsieur.
She... Oh, my...
Well, all her life she lived for love. Lebrun is the last of her lovers. When he no longer love, then that is the last of everything. She has bring the bottle with her in case he does not love. So, it happened a long time ago. And now perhaps Monsieur understand why perhaps it is better he sleep in the front of the building tonight and change his hotel tomorrow.
But why does she come back?
How do we know, monsieur? She's a thing of evil. When her face was lovely, while she lived, she used it to destroy men. Now she still uses it to destroy, but otherwise. She has some great evil power which draw those who can see her. They feel they must not rest until they have looked upon her face. And that face is not good to look upon.
Another drink handy, old man?
No, thanks. Listen, that can't be all. Poor old Crutchley. But that can't be all.
No, it isn't quite all. I wish that it were. Crutchley was scared. He changed his room, and the next day he moved out. He went to another hotel, tried to work, but couldn't. The horror of the thing had a fascination for him. And the next night, as it started to get dark, he asked himself why he shouldn't go and look. He was compelled.
Why shouldn't I go and see? It couldn't hurt me. Not if I look from a distance.
He didn't realize that she was drawing him to her. He went to the hotel, L'Hôtel d'Avignon. He walked around the building twice and then walked straight in through the swing doors as if he still stayed there. He went to the first floor and found one of the doors that led into the walled garden. It was late and the door was unlocked. He just stood there, staring in horror at that which sat upon the seat. He was drawn like a moth to a candle flame.
Madam, please look at me. Madam, let me see your face. Madam, please look at me. Madam, I know your story and I pity you. Allow me to see your face.
He was lost. He knew it. The power was too strong for him. He bent over her.
I mean...
That's the part Crutchley can't really describe. There weren't any features left in her face. But it wasn't just that. It was something much worse, much more subtle. Something happened, I know, before his sense left him. Poor devil, he couldn't tell me. He's getting better, though. Nerves still in shreds, of course. And he has one or two peculiar aversions.
What are they?
He can't bear to be touched. Or to hear anybody laugh.
Beyond Midnight is presented every Friday night at 9:30 by Biotex, the new soak and pre-wash powder. The program is adapted for broadcasting and produced by Michael McCabe.
And that wraps up another episode of EMZT Radio, Women in Horror Month. Just thank you to Miss Nicole Sell for talking about Wendigo. That sounds like a really good project. I am looking forward to that.
It does. We do need more Wendigo films.
Yeah, because, everything's saturated with werewolf. Werewolf, vampires, but obscure ones like Wendigos and Skinwalkers and things like that need to have more of them.
I got a challenge for somebody out there. The Grafton Monster.
Oh.
West Virginia lore. Now, you know that... I know. Fallout is a terrible piece of shit, and please don't buy it. I'm just going to tell everybody right now, Fallout 76 is a terrible piece of shit, and please don't buy it. But I love the fact they did put the West Virginia lore in the game.
Yeah.
And the Grafton Monster is in there, and the Mothman is in there. I can't remember what his frickin' name is, but I would love to see movies based on West Virginia lore. Because it's just so interesting when you read it. Because I read so much of it gearing up for Fallout 76, and I was so disappointed. It was such a terrible ass of a game. Why did you do this to me, Bethesda? Why? Fuck you, Bethesda. You better have a good game coming out. Just put out another Elder Scrolls, and everybody will forget that your fucking engine is like 20 years old, and you're all worthless.
We're still waiting for Elder Scrolls 6. We're still waiting. Supposedly,
later this year.
It's going to Elsewhere, talking more with the Khajiits.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's supposed to be later this year, I think. After they get out Starfield, which is going to be a total pile of shit, too. So,
you never know. They might surprise you.
You can tell how low my expectations are now. Fucking Bethesda games, so fuck you, Bethesda.
And it was so weird. You were so excited for Fallout 76.
And also double fuck you, EA, as well, just because you're Electronic Arts. Double and triple fuck you, EA.
That was my favorite game thing.
What, EA?
Yeah.
Until they became greedy little assholes and was like, hey, you want something cool in the game? Pump out $100. Fuck you, EA. Fuck you, fuck your microtransactions, and
yeah. The microtransactions were not fun.
The angry horror game, and I think that's going to be my new thing on YouTube now. The angry horror gamer.
There you go.
Where I just rip to shit all the fucking horror games, going fuck you just every 20 minutes.
And be demonetized.
Shit, we're demonetized already on fucking YouTube.
I know.
Yeah, because we dare put music in our fucking podcast. So guess what?
But
you
we have
can't make
permission.
any money.
We have permission. Yeah,
Fuck
I know.
that. You kidding?
CD Baby keeps coming at me about music from Luke and Wolf, and I'm like, no.
Did you guys hear this about they found a flaw in the system?
Mm-hmm.
CD Baby CD Baby actually went after a YouTuber due to his own voice.
What? Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's shit you gotta watch out for on fucking YouTube now. Is CD Baby went after this guy and he played the clip on one of his YouTube videos and it was his own voice.
And they were saying they claim it?
Copyright claim.
Jesus.
It's not strikeable, but I also found out that if you get one of those notices, just lay down and take it. Because they said if you appeal, it's almost an automatic you'll get a copyright strike.
Oh, jeez.
How much bullshit is that, man?
That's severely.
Fuck you, YouTube.
And all the music, we do have permission from the artists.
Yes. Even though some of the artists we don't talk to anymore because they're too political.
They're not all signed, but, just the ones that are still unsigned, we have outright permission. So, yeah. Otherwise, I wouldn't put it on.
And if you all were wondering on the stream the other night, yes, I actually specifically have permission from Calling All Astronauts now to play their music during our live streaming.
Oh, how nice.
So,
That's still an interview time to beat. Was 90-minute interview, Sarah.
Let's pray we don't ever hit 90 minutes again.
90-minute interview. That was basically our whole show.
Wow. Well, me and Jasmine, our Bitches of Horror live episode went on for 2 hours.
Oh, wow.
I can confirm this. I was there, too.
And we were so drunk. It was crazy. Like, Jasmine was like, I don't even remember anything from that episode. I'm not watching it. I'm like, I'm not either.
Nice.
I don't know what it was, but it was like, Jeremiah and I were taking bets in the chat about who would knock the light over first.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
What else was there? Oh yeah. There's so many like embarrassing things. I loved it though. No, but seriously, if you've never been to one of their live streams, I hope you guys live stream the hell out of things lately.
We want to do it more. It's so much fun, especially when you guys are there with us and commenting and stuff.
Absolutely. I will be there with freaking bells on from now on because that was the best time I've ever had in a live stream. And
me too. Like Jasmine had just afterwards. Jasmine had to like take an Uber home, and I was so drunk. I like bumped into everything. I'm like, "There's a door. Don't walk into the door." And I walked into the door. I'm like, "There's a wall. Don't fall into the wall." I just fell into the wall. Like I couldn't control myself.
Wow.
I was imagining by the end of the by like 20 minutes afterwards, you were just on the floor, just completely passed out because you were just gone.
I was gone.
It was great though. I mean, this
it really was.
That was so much fun, and it's even more fun than a lot of the charity streams I've been to lately. Which we need to plan a charity stream in September or October for Halloween.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Which
I'd
means
be down for that.
I need to get the Twitch viewers up again.
Yeah.
Gonna work. Harder work. Okay.
So, Sarah, Let everybody know where we can find you. You got to see more Sarah and Jasmine.
Yeah. Well, you can see us both on Facebook. Just search for Bitches of Horror and Bitches of Horror on YouTube and Instagram. And we are highlighting women in horror every day now, every day of February. So check us out and get to know some of these wonderful, talented females.
Oh,
Yes.
Yes. Dread Central's starting to feature some of their women writers too, so I thought that was cool.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, they did one who came up with the Blood List. It's
Really?
She does a list of screenplays or unproduced films, and she makes a list of the ones that should be made, and I think with her contacts they can get made. So yeah,
sweet.
It's called thebloodlist.com, and she announces it every Halloween.
Oh.
She does like a list, I think a list of 10.
Nice.
Oh.
And this is a way for writers who have unproduced work to get contacts to get their stuff made. So yeah.
Oh.
So there you go.
Sweet. Oh, one last thing before we go. I don't know if you guys saw this or not, but Shudder finally announced some of the short stories they're going to be doing on Creepshow.
Oh.
And who's going to be directing them, which is fucking awesome.
Awesome.
Wow.
Joe Hill is going to be doing a few. Josh Mallerman will attempt to make up for himself after Bird Box. See earlier episodes for my rants.
Oh my God.
Yeah. The epic Bird Box rant. We'll stick to that. Joe Lansdale.
We'll call it Matt Shit Fest.
Yeah, Matt shits all over Bird Box. It was great. And I wasn't even planning on doing that, but it just was like I don't know what it was. It's just like something.
It came out.
It just came out. Yeah, it just came out. Let's see here. Christopher Buhlman is doing one. Bruce Jones is doing one. John Esposito from the webisodes of Walking Dead.
Oh.
Is doing Night of the Paw, and Rob Schrab from Monster House is doing Bad Wolf Down. And there's allegedly a Stephen King story that's coming.
Oh yeah.
So that's what I saw coming off of Bloody Disgusting. Link will be in the description as per usual.
Oh, and Shudder for this month of February is doing free 30 days viewing for the Women in Horror tributes.
Hell yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Shudder is basically what I'm on when I'm not watching the sports ball.
Okay.
Yeah, Shudder has a lot of good stuff.
They do.
Amazed. I'm just pissed that it's not on the PlayStation anymore.
Oh.
That's why you need to be a real grown up and go get a Roku.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that's next.
Or a Firebox. I go get a Firebox because I've heard Fireboxes are better. Plus, it has Alexa, so.
I don't know if I want Alexa.
My landlord had a bad problem with Alexa. Alexa, you're a bitch. Like, really? Don't fucking do that to my Alexa.
Yeah, there's like several
My only
creepypasta
companion.
stories about Alexa and how she does things on her own. No, thank you.
Some of them aren't exactly creepypastas.
Yeah.
Hi, NSA guy that's listening through my Alexa app. I'm sure that you are listening right now. I think I've been assigned 3 NSA people now.
What?
Yeah. I'm convinced there's like 3 NSA people listening to me at all times.
You're such a threat.
I know. I'm a threat to national security. What are we talking about here? Dangerous, man. Yeah, don't mess with me.
So, anyone have anything else they'd like to talk about?
Tommy Wiseau? No, I'm kidding. I can't wait I want to see that movie. That's going to be better than Sharknado. All right, it's going to be much better. The Big Shark. Tommy Wiseau is going to be in Big Shark, everybody.
That will probably be the best shark film ever.
I totally agree.
We'll have to see.
Okay, I'm
right.
done. I don't have anything else to shit on. So.
Well, anyway, Well, a big thank you to Miss Sarah from Bitches of Horror for coming on and sitting with us through the whole thing. we bow to you because you're awesome.
Oh, thank you. You guys are awesome. I love it every time I'm on here.
It's like I told her the other day, you're practically a fucking co-host anyways.
Yeah. Yeah, we just need to get Jasmine on here too. Then it'd be a real wow.
Oh, that would be amazing. We have to do it.
Yeah.
Yes.
I can't wait for that.
Yeah.
So that's something to look forward to. So stay tuned for another episode of EMZT Radio.
French toast!